Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for checking out the video. I'm Southside Braves, and today I got the draft analysis for my second new draft league I'm joining, the Rocket Draft League. If you watched the video I released earlier tonight, I did mention how I joined two new ones. I have a new team logo in that, so I'm not going to repeat those things. Hopefully you checked out that one. But like I said, I did want to go through the roster I got for the Rocket Draft League. I'm really excited to be a part of it. I know it's ran through Sen's Discord, who he's done a lot of things for me with my logos and my intro and stuff, so I appreciate Sen a lot. I'm glad to be a part of this league. So that being said, let's take a look at the roster I put together for this league. So that is the new logo. Again, if you didn't check out the other video, that's the new logo I'm rocking with for this season. Again, made by Sen, so I really appreciate that. Alright, so this league was also points-based, and it had 10 different tiers of points from 10 to 1, so a lot of variation. This league also had very few bans compared to other leagues I've been in, so a lot of Pokemon were available. So, kind of cool. I'm going to get to see and play with and against some Pokemon I've never used before, because they've always kind of been banned or in Ubers. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. That being said, I had the 16th pick in this draft. That was out of 16 teams. So I got back-to-back picks every round, but dead last of the first round. So a lot of things that I might have wanted went, but I was glad one thing fell to me. It was worth 10 points, the max, so I went kind of high price on it. But something I know is really strong, has been in Ubers multiple times, and I'm excited to try to get to play around with it and see what I can do with it. And that is Melmetal. Again, never used Melmetal. He's always been banned for as long as I've known, so I'm excited to use him in this league. Strong physical steel type is fun to play with, so we'll see what I can do with him. Second pick, again, I had back-to-back, so I wanted to pick something that could pair well with Melmetal. And what I got was another mon I've never used. I usually go away from legendaries or they're banned in some of the leagues I play in. But I wanted to try this one out, and that is Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini, I think, is a very good mon for my team. Gives me Steel Fairy right off the bat in the first two rounds. So I'm excited for that. Tapu Fini gives me a nice little special defender to pair well with the Melmetal. So yeah, and it can also help deal with the fire types that want to do damage to Melmetal. So I think those two paired very well with my first two picks. I'm excited to use them. Now, as I said, I was at 16th pick, so 31 picks go by before I get to pick again. So that's a ton of picks. So after that, I looked and I went and got another mon I have used before over in the PWD. Not as much as I should have used. I didn't bring him as often as I should have. But that is Amoonguss. Gives me a nice grass type with some utility for me. Can spore some things. Has reliable recovery, synthesis, and regenerator ability. So I'm excited to use Amoonguss again. He's done very well the few games I've brought him in the PWD. So I think I can use him well in this league for me. After that, again, I got the back-to-back. So I went Ditto with my second one. Ditto is another mon I have used before. It's not as good in a non-Dynamax league, which both my new ones I'm in are. No Dynamax, no Gmax. So it's not as strong here, but Ditto, Choice Scarf Ditto is still a problem for a lot of people. So I'm excited to use that. It stops people from really setting up because they don't want to give you the free setup. And just being able to copy it. So yeah, I was excited. I also liked getting Amoonguss and Ditto back-to-back picks, just because I thought it was funny because Amoonguss is like Among Us, and Ditto's ability is Imposter, and of course everyone plays that game now. So yeah, I just thought it was kind of ironic I got those two back-to-back. So again, lots of picks go by. I need to go again. I wanted something that could get rocks up for me, some hazards and stuff. And I wanted a ground type as well. With a lot of strong electric types running around now, I needed a ground type. So I went and got Rhyperior, who was in the bottom tier. I think he was 4 points, which I think is a decent price for Rhyperior. So I don't think I've ever actually used Rhyperior. I've used Rhydon in leagues, and I know Rhyperior does a lot of the same things. Got the high physical attack stat for me and the high physical defense. Gives me another physical wall. Gives me the rocks that I wanted it for. If it had Rapid Spin, I wouldn't go for this next pick, but I also still needed a Rapid Spinner or a Defogger other than Tapu Fini, because I don't really want to run Defog on Tapu Fini all that often. But I went and got Colossal. Like I said, Rhyperior and Colossal kind of do a lot of the same thing, so I don't know how I feel about having both of them. But Rhyperior gives me that ground type I needed, while Colossal gives me a rapid spinner. So, again, having both of them is a little iffy, but I did go ahead and get both of them. So, yeah, that's where I was at this point in the draft. My next back-to-back, I went cheap. I wanted 2 of the bottom tier ones. There was a 2-point Mon, so the second lowest tier out of 10 tiers, that I did not think deserved to be that low. And that would be Charizard. I have used Charizard before. I'm excited to bring him back. Like I said, I just think he's a really good Mon for 2 points. I just thought that was very, very cheap for Charizard. Again, kind of gives me some duplicate things here. Second fire type with the Colossal. It gives me another Defogger in case I don't want to bring Colossal or to run Defog on Tapu Fini. I've actually used defensive and utility Charizard quite a bit instead of going with the offensive variant, which people don't usually expect. But I've used it, and of course it can be a Choice Specs or Choice Scarf user as well. So I'm excited to have Charizard on the roster. My second of those back-to-back was Hatram. And I really looked at that bottom tier of 1-point Mons. And I was kind of down to 2, and it was Beheeyem or Hatram. And the reason being, I looked at my team up to this point, and outside of Charizard, and I guess maybe Tapu Fini, but really just Charizard, my team is incredibly slow. Melmetal, Amoonguss, Rhyperior, Colossal, incredibly slow Mons. So I wanted something that could set up Trick Room if I wanted to go that route. I'm not saying I'm going to do that all the time, but I wanted a Trick Room setter. I thought Beheeyem and Hatram were kind of the best 2 in that bottom tier for me. And I like having the Magic Bounce to bounce back other people's Stealth Rocks if I need to. So I went and got Hatram. Again, mainly for that Trick Room, but it can do other things. It can be Aromatherapy. Like I said, Magic Bounce is a great ability. It can nuzzle some things. So, yeah, that was my 1-pointer. I had one, at least, this was a little bit of a weird situation with this league, the way we were doing the roster. You could have anywhere from 9 to 11 Mons. So I went with 9. I thought having more power over more choices was better for my roster. So at this point, I had 8 points left. So I went back to the 8-point tier, and I looked at what I kind of needed. 2 main cores you can build off. Grass, Water, Fire I already had, and Steel, Fairy, Dragon I wanted. I had the Steel and the Fairy with Melmetal and Tapu Fini. So I wanted a very strong Dragon to pair with them. And one I've actually drafted in both the new leagues now, and one I've used in the past, would be Como. Like I said, I'm going to kind of repeat things I've said about Como in the past. I think it is great for Draft League because of how much variation you can have with it. It can be a special attacker, it can be a physical attacker. It has enough defensive stats where you can even build defensive ones with it. So just the flexibility you get with Como, I think, makes him a great Draft League Mon. And I got him with my last pick, so I was thrilled by that. Like I said, I love my Steel Dragon Fairy core of Melmetal, Tapu Fini, and Como. I think that's fantastic. Like I said, I think I have enough support in the other Mons with like Rhyperior, Amoonguss, Colossal, Charizard, and that to make sure those 3 are successful. And like I said, Ditto can always be a problem for people as well. So I love the roster I got in this league. Again, if you watch my other one, the YCL, I'm happy with that roster, but I'm mixed feelings about it. I love this roster. I think this roster can be very, very good for me. I did watch the power tiering that video that came out just a little bit ago, and I think I was well done. They talked about my team and put me in the C tier out of A, B, C, and D, which I believe they said means they don't expect me to make playoffs, but that's fine. I'm cool with being an underdog. But the main thing they said was lack of special walls, which I see here. I mean, that's a valid argument. But I like running Assault Vest on mons you don't expect it to kind of give me a makeshift special wall. Like I said, Colossal can do it. And I think they underestimate how much Tapu Fini can be a special wall for me. But yeah, I know there's no recovery there, but I think I can be successful with this team. Like I said, that is one weakness that I am aware of, and I'm going to kind of build around it. So, like I said, if you haven't checked out their video too, I'm going to throw that at the end if you want to check out the power tiering they did for all the teams. As somebody that's done power rankings before, I know it's a tough job, and you're not going to make everyone happy. So I got no complaints about it. I'm cool with being in the C tier. Like I said, I thought the things I said about my team were valid. So we'll see how this team does. I'm really, really excited to use it. I believe this league actually starts on Monday. And I believe I actually get Sen week 1 of the league. And also one more thing I want to mention about it is I love the setup of this league too. They have 4 different divisions and 2 different conferences. Top 2 in each division are going to make it. and I believe 1 wild card in each, if I remember correctly. That might be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But it's very much NFL-like. I'm a big football fan, big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, to be more precise, and I think the setup is very reminiscent of the NFL, so I think that's really cool. So I'm going to play everyone in my division twice this season. Sen, excellent battler, won the SRL last season I was in it. He is in my division. I do get to play him twice, which could be challenging. I'm expecting to be a great battle. I don't think I've actually beat Sen yet. I think I'm 0-2 now. First one I think was a tie in the first season of SRL I was in. Then I think he beat me a little more handily in the second season, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm excited to play him. He's my week 1. We'll see him twice this season. And like I said, I appreciate the guy. He's done a lot for my channel with making a lot of the graphics and stuff. So hopefully you guys check it out next week. I'm thinking probably Saturday or Sunday, hopefully. I'll have the battle between me and Sen up using this roster. And I don't plan on making any changes before week 1. I know a lot of people do right after the draft. These are my 9 I'm going in with. And I'm going to build with this team and see how I do against Sen week 1. Hope you guys check out that battle. Hope you have a good night. And like I said, check out the power tiering video if you haven't. I'm going to link it here at the end. So yeah, have a good night, everyone. See ya.